Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Friday the 13th. Yeah, but nothing scary here except for it's the last day of NAA. We're wrapping everything up. It's been a long week, a great week, right?
Yeah, here episode 41. Here we are.
Episode 41. It's also National Weed Your Garden Day. Yeah. So in case you are tired of all the bright lights, all that stuff, get back to your homes, get back to nature, weed your gardens, and also if you have found some new technology, throw out the old stuff and kind of plant the new stuff.
Right. That's very true. That's a good point there. And speaking of green things, I've recently joined up.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, you've been teasing this out a lot. I think if you were at Apartmentalize, if you're here, if you're yesterday, today, you probably saw Eric out there kind of doing that, helping launch something that you're connected to as well. Right?
Yeah, this is true. So Mark Sharp actually launched the Maintenance Academy, which is a free resource for maintenance technicians, absolutely free. Short clip videos for maintenance techs, no logins, no ads, just go to the website. It's all web-based and you can learn.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And you notice that we actually are in the same space because we're here together. Normally we're in separate boxes, but we got to spend a lot of time together. We got to host the very popular Podcast Palooza.
Podcast Palooza, that's right. Second annual Podcast Palooza. First time they did moderated debates, though.
Yes, I think learn some sound lessons. I think they're very excited about the next year's venue in New Orleans, and they're already starting to get people interested in sponsoring. So look out for information for them. If you went to it, you want more information, check out Multifamily Media Network.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're looking for a full debrief of NAA, we're going to go ahead and do that next week.
Yes. After we get back on East Coast time, our minds will work a little better. We'll be ready to kind of recap the whole kit and caboodle from the whole week. Lots of different things that we saw, or things that people posted about, or things that we were, involved in.
Yeah. And we're taking applications. If you want to be a part of that debrief, let us know.
Yeah, so let us know. You have literally 5 days before we can decide who will join us. But if you would like to join us, send us a DM, and then we can have some folks on. But we'll do a quick recap now.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Quick takes?
Yeah, what's your quick take?
Well, besides the Podcast Palooza being a ton of fun, and we did get to play in a playground, which is kind of fun. So, I honestly, on the supplier side, right, I've been on the exhibition floor. Absolutely huge turnout this year. I think that, having it at the convention center here, this convention center is absolutely huge. One of the things I really like and appreciate about Apartmentalize is that, once again, they bring in all walks of life in the multifamily owner-operator world. So you're seeing everything from maintenance technicians all the way up to incredible owners and operators who are running, 10,000, 50,000 units.
Yeah, no, it's a huge event. I think, folks ahead of time were kind of posting about, what's the value? Is it too much? Is it too noisy? Is it too big? I mean, Vegas is all those things, and Apartmentalizes all those things. And I think the folks that find success, the ones I've talked to, they have very specific things that they want to accomplish. They're not going to get to every session. They're not going to make it to every booth. They're not going to solve every AI issue. But if they have one thing that they're looking at, there's a very good chance they can walk away with something. I was able to attend some of the sessions in the last couple days. Some were okay, and then some were great. And I think the ones that were great were the ones actually that I brought stuff to the session as well. I was interested in X, Y, and Z specifically, so I was more invested in it than maybe a couple of the other ones that fit in my calendar, or I was going to support somebody or something like that. So I think that's my quick take. Yeah.
Well, lots of collaboration, of course. One of the things I really enjoy seeing is, for example, folks in marketing being interested in maintenance, because when you look at the complaints on websites, Google reviews, things like that, marketing teams are very much so interested in how can they solve those problems. And even though they're not the ones who are handling maintenance requests and work orders, for example, they want to solve these problems.
Yeah.
And they're interested in learning about how to do that with other software solutions, right? So it's really nice to see that collaboration between teams, internal teams inside these owners and operators.
Absolutely. And I think, I think there's a lot more next week that we can talk about in sort of different events that happened, different marketing attention, grabbing things that got people's attention on the trade show floor, not just the big, the thing that will happen today, which is apartments.com and the big announcement that always draws a crowd. But we'll kind of recap everything. We should pivot though, because even though you feel like everyone is here, everyone's not here, and there's still news going on.
That's ludicrous.
I know there's still news going on. There's still people, obviously working properties, but there's also people in the industry that have, decided to focus in other areas, focus on other events. I know, Sarah Scarborough Graham, she posted about that, sharing a little bit of FOMO, but also kind of saying, hey, I have a lot of things to do. I'm meeting clients this week. This wasn't part of the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge is when you have a lot of things to do and you have deadlines, sometimes you just can't make it to events like this. So that's very understandable. I get that.
Yeah. And it resonated with a lot of folks, a lot of other folks who were in a position where they were meeting with clients, where they were, busy, where it wasn't on the bucket, where they were focused on maybe smaller gatherings or smaller shows, which is totally understandable. They shared a lot of information on that post. There were some partnerships too that were announced throughout the week on LinkedIn and other places, right? The first one we saw.
Yeah. Amenity has an exclusive partnership with Entrada.
Yes, Amenify.
Excuse me.
I know it's been a week. We're still on Vegas time. We still need to fly back to Atlanta. Amenify has a partnership with Entrada. They are the first partnership for Amenify, so right now it's exclusive. Pinata also announced a partnership with MRI, which is kind of exciting. Always great to see partnerships. Someone else launched something. Speaking of new,
yeah. Well, our friends at Resi.
Resi. Yeah.
Our friends at Resi just announced a brand new sparkling CMS. That's content management system. And it's really like an all-in-one system that's meant to bring everything together to make it a lot easier for marketing teams.
Yeah. And, there was another announcement in funding that came out, right? Zark secured a good amount of funding. I don't have the exact number.
A cool couple million or so. I think, we'll update the number here.
Yeah,
in the comments.
They were sharing about, their expansion, the ability for people to use their product to, drive that ancillary revenue further, which is kind of exciting. So no surprise that people are making these announcements leading up to Apartmentalize, whether they're there or not. And somebody who, I don't know if they were at Apartmentalize or not. I know their company was, but Richard Roos posted this week kind of talking about the state of the industry a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in 2024 during the election cycle were talking about survive till 25. Well, guess what? We're basically halfway through 25, and I think it's still a little bit survive.
Yeah, it still survived. Like people kind of kept kicking the can down, like, oh, Q2 of this, no, Q4 of this, and it's like, no, this is going to be the year for us, and we have to start looking at 2026 as sort of like things really moving the needle in a positive direction. But it was a very very insightful post, and we've heard other leaders talk like that before.
Yeah. No, and ultimately it could be from lots of different macro things going on, everything from tariffs affecting new build to restorations, right? I mean, all of this affects multifamily. It impacts all of us. And if the needle is not moving forward there, then the rest of us are all sort of sitting there waiting, pausing sometimes, which is a challenge in the industry.
Yeah. And if you haven't, seen the post from this morning, make sure to check out the weekly recap. That's going to focus only on news outside of Apartmentalize. There's some other stories that kind of take place. And it's just a reminder that it's very easy for news cycles to get caught up in one thing, but there's like this event this week, but there's always lots of stuff going on in lots of places. And I guess the other big news is that I started having a mustache this week, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that newsworthy? We'll see how long it lasts. My wife is she's on the fence about it, so we'll see how long it lasts. Maybe I'll bring the goatee back or
Vote for Pedro.
perfect. Well, have a great weekend.
Yep. Safe travels to everyone flying
Yes.
home, going home.
Yes, and we'll see you next